What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the WSS finals, where we're going to be taking on Mora, coach of the Monterrey Gyarados. It's been a while since I've uploaded again, but we're finally back with the finals. So obviously I'm facing Mora, and we've battled plenty of times before. He's a great player, and this will definitely be a tough one. But I do have my sets at least for this game, so we're going to run through some stuff real quick first, and then we'll jump into the battle. So my team, my full team, if you didn't know, is Ho-Oh, Tapu Koko, Garchomp, Celebi, Hawlucha, Alolan Muck, Primarina, Fortress, Mismagius, Smeargle, and Duosion, whereas Mora has a team of Kofag, Kofagrigus, Crobat, which is one of his Z move users, Groudon, Haxorus, which is another Zmon, Mega Houndoom, Licky, Magearna, Mesprit, Rotom, Seismitoad, and Lycanroc Dusk. So that's his team. And yeah, so just we played early in the season. He won. It was a bit of a haxy battle on both sides. So definitely trying to get this win here. In terms of what I expected from him, I mean, you can see the 6 he brings right there, but I was positive the Groudon and Magearna were coming. There's no way you don't bring them. I believe he brought them to every game, and I mean, they're just too good not to bring. So I definitely expected those two. I definitely expected the Kofagrigus. I felt like he had to bring that, otherwise he would just straight up lose to my Hawlucha. He kind of has nothing for it except for the Kofag. So I expected that for sure. And then there was a lot of different things he could have potentially done. The Crobat, I thought would come for sure because, I don't know, it's just good versus me, and also, like, I believe it's his only way to remove hazards besides the Rotom. Let me just check that. Yeah, I believe it is. So, and the Rotom is nowhere near as good as Crobat for this game. So, yeah, I definitely think he'd want to bring that with defog on it. Otherwise, I could just pressure him with hazards. So that makes sense as well. And then, you know, Seismitoad is just solid to bring to this game as well. Gives him Rocks option along with Groudon. So yeah, that was kind of what I was expecting. I honestly thought he might bring the Haxorus again. That thing was kind of a problem for me last time. So I tried to make sure I was better prepared for it this time. He didn't bring it though, so honestly, good for him for not bringing that. I feel like I don't feel like I over prepped for it, but it was definitely a problem last time. I thought there was a chance he'd bring the Mega Houndoom. Didn't bring that either. So yeah, I mean, kind of nothing too crazy here from what I was thinking he would bring. So anyway, let's jump over to my team. So first of all, we have Ho-Oh here with the Chardy Berry. I have 164 HP, 92 attack, and 252 speed. Full warning now, like I played this game like ages ago, like months and months ago. So I'm not going to be able to tell you what all the EVs are for, but they were for a reason. We're just kind of recapping it here. You know, the Jolly Nature, Sacred Fire, Solar Beam, Roost, and Roar. So obviously I wanted it to outspeed something. It's max speed Jolly, so I think it was like I don't know, it was like Haxorus or Groudon or something, I don't even know. But yeah, Sacred Fire, like, he doesn't have anything for that really, especially when he sets the sun up for me with his Groudon. So like, a sun boosted Sacred Fire is going to hurt everything on his team. Not even Seismitoad wants to really take it. But I do have the Solar Beam for that as well, to potentially catch that, because in Sun, obviously, Solar Beam will only be one turn, so that's nice. And then Roost for recovery, and then Roar as a final move, just to phase out if something gets out of hand. And yeah, obviously the Chardy Berry is mainly there for the Groudon. Could be used against the Lycanroc as well, but the main reason I had that was for the Groudon. Next up we have Tapu Koko with the Kevia Berry. 8 defense, 248 special attack, and max speed Timid. I'm max speed Timid because Oh yeah, Crobat. This is speed type of Crobat. And like I'm pretty safe as a Crow, because like if he's not max speed, I'm gonna outspeed him. Even if he is, I have the Kevia Berry. I wasn't too sure what item to put on this, but I just thought Kevia Berry would be best because it can help me out in a lot of different situations. It's pretty niche though, but it could work. Like for example, against the Crobat. If it's Z, it could also be used against the Poison Jab Haxorus, a Sludge Bomb Mega Houndoom, stuff like that. So yeah, I thought putting a Kevia Berry on it could be nice. And yeah, we have Calm Mind, T-Bolt, Dazzling Gleam, Grass Knot. So yeah, just Calm Mind 3 attacks here. This is a real problem for him. I mean, Tapu Koko is a beast. And yeah, it's no exception here. Just T-Bolt, Dazzling Gleam, and Grass Knot hits everything on his team. I did have another idea for the Tapu Koko, which was more specifically built for the Haxorus. I guess I don't really care about revealing it now, seeing the game's over. So I was originally thinking, I don't know what move it was over. It was either over Dazzling Gleam or Grass Knot. I think it was over Grass Knot. I was going to put Mean Look on it, and that way if Haxorus locked itself into Outrage, like last time in a situation versus my Garchomp, I could trap it and it would be locked into, like if it's a Scarf Haxorus obviously, I could trap it, lock it into Outrage, and then I could set up to +6 on it and proceed to just wipe through his entire team. But that's like kind of, I don't know, I mean it can still work even if he doesn't bring the Haxorus, like just T-Bolt and Dazzling Gleam kind of hits everything, or T-Bolt and Grass Knot, whichever one I was going with. So that could have worked, but again, it's a bit more niche, and just having all 3 attacks I need to hit his entire team is probably just going to be more beneficial. Like, yes, it could win the game if he brings the Haxorus, but if he, and it has to be a Scarf Haxorus as well, it could win the game if he brings the Haxorus, but at the same time, like, he might not, and even if he does, this Tapu Koko is going to put him work regardless. So next up we have Garchomp with the Dragonium Z, 40 HP, 252 attack, and 216 speed with a Jolly Nature. That outspeeds the Haxorus, and yeah, Dragonium Z, I'm pretty sure this is the exact same Garchomp I brought to the first game. It's SD, EQ, Dragon Claw, and Outrage, so again, just like last time, this is just a huge problem for his team. How did he stop, like last time he stopped with the Haxorus, and as you can see, he did not bring the Haxorus this time, so it's kind of going to be a big problem for him. If I get up an SD, I kind of just go through his entire team. The Z Outrage can be used on anything I want really to secure a KO, like against a Kofag, like against a Seismitoad, and like that, whatever his response is, I can use the Z move on, and then he has no more responses. So that's a Garchomp. Definitely another big win con in this game, Tapu Koko, Garchomp. And then next up here, we have another like really big win con that I think could win this. So we're bringing Hawlucha again this time, but we're not going to bring the same set as last time. Basically, like I said, he has to bring the Kofagrigus. If he didn't, Hawlucha would go through it again. I had a couple of ideas for the Hawlucha. I was originally thinking, oh, what was I thinking? I think I had like Taunt. Sorry about that. I think I had like Taunt on it, and another move. What was it? I don't know, I had something on it. But anyway, I believe I had it with Taunt. But while that could stop the Kofag from going for Will-O-Wisp and all that jazz that it did last time versus me, I figured it wasn't worth it. I had a way to avoid him giving the Mummy ability to me. So I don't exactly remember what that was, but I had something. I'm not going to go look back at it now, but what I ultimately ended up going with was an Iron Ball Hawlucha, 48 HP, 252 attack, 4 defense, 204 speed, with an Adamant Nature, Sword Dance, Acrobatics, High Jump Kick, and Fling. So this could potentially win the game. Basically, the plan with this is, obviously Iron Ball makes you extremely slow, but it's also the most powerful item to use with Fling. And yeah, if I can get an SD up on with this, as he goes into his answer being the Pythagoras, I can then fling at the Iron Ball, and I believe at +2 it kills it. If not, it does like 90% or something. And then after that, I obviously get rid of the Iron Ball. I'm faster than his entire team with the Unburden, and I can go and just win the whole game. So this is huge for me, the having this work against the Pythagoras. Obviously, I'm not going to be faster than his team if I don't fling the Iron Ball, so I kind of need the situation with the Pythagoras to pop up. So yeah, I mean, like, it's his answer, so I was pretty confident that it could work. So next we have Fortress with the Cussed Up Berry, 252 HP, 252 defense, 4 speed, Impish Nature. So just a standard defensive Fortress with Cussed Up, Spike, Earthquake, Rapid Spin, and Explosion. This Fortress role in this game is to set up the spikes. As I said, his only hazard removal is the Crobat, and if I can set spikes up for the rest of his team, that's going to be huge because it just hits absolutely everything. It's especially nice for that Magina to wear it down. Got the Earthquake on there to hit the Magina, hit the Lycanroc, so they can't just set up on me for free. And then I have the Explosion with the Cussed Out Berry as well, which could come in handy. And then I have Spin, Rapid Spin. Finally, we have Primarina with the Caviar Berry, also max HP, 16 special attack, 240 special defense, Calm Nature. So this is a more specially defensive Primarina. With the max HP, I can take any hit from Groudon from full, which is very important. And then with the Spadef and the Caviar Berry, I can really take on the Mega Houndoom a lot better. I needed some kind of response for it, so that was kind of what my Primarina was there for. Seeing he didn't bring it, it's kind of more freed up in this game to fill other roles versus the Groudon and such. I just have Moonblast, Ice Beam, Rest, Sleep Talk. Rest, Sleep Talk, I just figured it's really nice in this game. Once I get worn down, to just rest up and then go for Sleep Talk. Moonblast, obviously, just stab, and then Ice Beam is kind of a middle ground, something that can hit the Groudon while also hit the Crobat, so he can't just go into the Crobat for free. And I also can do decent damage to the Seismitoad. So that's going to be my team for this game. Let's go ahead and jump into the game here. So the 6 he decides to bring are the Crobat, the Groudon, the Magina, the Pythagoras, the Seismitoad, and the Lycanroc Dusk. And obviously you know my team, so yeah, definitely win cons in this game. Hawlucha is huge. It can absolutely run through his entire team if I can pull off the Iron Ball Fling, and then Garchomp's also huge in this game with the Z move. Can be really nice. Same with the Tapu Koko. T-Bolt, Dazzling Gleam, Grass Knot goes through his entire team. In terms of his biggest threats to me, definitely the Groudon. That thing is such a problem. Especially if it starts going for like Rock Polish and Swords Dance, that's just going to be an absolute nightmare for me. The Magin is always going to be a threat. And yeah, the Lycanroc's actually also scary as well. Don't know if it's going to be like a lead Lycanroc or whatever, but still could be a problem. Anyway, let's get into the game here. So I decide to lead off, well, he leads with his Crobat, and I decide to lead off with my Garchomp here. So first turn, this is his only hazard removal. If I can get rid of this, then I can Spike Stack his entire team. So I'm just going to go for the Z move turn 1 here. He may want to switch out. I'm fine with that. I doubt he'll go into the Magina. If he does, then that's cool. But yeah, I just want to fire off the Z move here, because if I get rid of the Crobat, that's going to be absolutely huge for me. So I'm just going to go for the Dragonium Z, as he does decide to just click Super Fang, and then I can kill the Crobat turn 1 with the Devastating Drake. So we get rid of that turn 1 in exchange for 50% on a Garchomp, which is definitely worth it. Now I can Spike Stack his entire team, which is perfect. So he now brings in the Groudon. I can't let this thing start setting up, so I have to attack it. I need the Earthquake chip on it. If I didn't get that Earthquake chip, then it didn't matter. Like, if I switched there, it was over. He would be +2 speed, and he's already at 100%. There was nothing I could do about it. So I had to get the Earthquake chip off here in order to be able to stop this thing. So that's exactly what I do. He now goes for the Precipice Blades to take me out. I could not give that thing a free turn. So now I can go into my Primarina, which is my which takes any one hit from the Groudon, and I can also like, as you can see, this is a problem. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to kill it here, but if I go for the Moonblast or Ice Beam, I don't think it matters, then it puts it in range for my Fortress to be able to stop it. Or I could go into Ho-Oh as well, but yeah. Yeah, I go onto my Primarina here, and he gets the crit, which is kind of horrible. Now I just lost my Primarina for absolutely nothing, and I'm still have no response to this Groudon. Even in prep, like, I don't think there was much I could have done to stop this Groudon. So yeah, I was kind of just like, oh well, hacked out of another game here. It is what it is, but I didn't stop. I tried to figure out a way to still be able to take this down. Obviously, it's a huge problem though. He did reveal to me after the game that it was, I don't even know the item, but it was a boosting item, forget the name of the item, that increases his ground type and rock type moves, so, or is it just physical moves? It might just increase physical moves, I don't even know what the item's called. So that actually was a roll to kill me, but it was heavily in my favour to live that, so it is what it is. That definitely sucked. There was like a huge chance I was going to live that, so kind of forced into my Ho-Oh now. As he goes for a Stone Edge, we get some Justice and he misses, and that lets me roar him out, so that was definitely big. Obviously doesn't really make up for it because I lost my Primarina for nothing, and I could have just been able to get rid of the Groudon right then and there. Instead, the Groudon is still alive. However, at least I didn't take the Stone Edge with my Ho-Oh and use the Charty Berry, so I guess that's okay, but yeah, that definitely sucked. I just decided to go for a Sacred Fire here. I was so close to clicking Solar Beam there because I knew he was just going to go into his Seismitoad. But as you can see, the Sacred Fire in the sun still does 32 to this thing, and I figured it was actually worth going for the Sacred Fire because if I have any chance at coming back from this now, it is to set up the spikes and get them up ASAP. And if I were to go for the Solar Beam on this Seismitoad as it switches in, like, what else is my Fortress really going to be able to set up the spikes on? I need all 3 layers pretty much at this point. So I want to use the Seismitoad as a way to get up my spikes. So I thought it was better to actually just go for the Sacred Fire here, because not only does it cover everything better, but also it gives me the opportunity to go into my Fortress now and start setting up some spikes, which is what I have to do. So he's just going to go for the Rock Slide here. It does absolutely nothing to my Fortress. Now it's time to start setting up the spikes. So set up 1 layer here, and he goes back into his Groudon, which is a good play for him to apply pressure on me. I'm forced back into my Ho-Oh here, as he does go for the Fire Punch. Now here again, because of the item he has in his Groudon, like, I thought I was out of range of... Yeah, the item does boost physical moves, by the way, because that Fire Punch did too much. So I thought I could come in here, and if he goes for the Fire Punch, and I can live the Stone Edge following it with my Charty Berry. But I realized here as I switch in that Fire Punch did way too much, and I'm actually not even going to be able to live this following Stone Edge even with my Charty Berry. So that's where I kind of figured out his item here. And that's where also, if he didn't get the crit before and he still killed my Primarina, at least that would have told me that he had the boosting item, so I would know for now. But because he crit me, there was no way of me knowing that he had the boosting item here, so that kind of comes into play here as well. I do go for the Sacred Fire. Have not been having good luck with my Sacred Fire burns this season, but when it matters the most, we do get the burn on the Groudon, which actually saves me here. Otherwise I would have died to this Stone Edge, I believe. So that burn definitely coming in clutch. It is 50%. I haven't been getting too lucky with the Sacred Fire burns this season, but thankfully when it matters, Ho-Oh gets the burn. He goes for the Precipice Blades here and misses. Doesn't really matter, it was going to do nothing anyway. So this gives me the opportunity to go into my Fortress and get up another layer of spikes because I need it. This lets me get up all 3 layers actually. He gets a crit on the Stone Edge, doesn't really matter I guess. And then he goes for the Fire Punch and gets the burn, which is pretty funny. But I do get all 3 layers up out of this, which is exactly what I needed. It was kind of my only hope of coming back from this. So Getting up all 3 layers is crucial here. He sends in his Lycanroc, goes for the 5 Fang to kill me. I just went for the Earthquake, I believe, so that this Lycanroc couldn't just start setting up, or the Explosion, one of the two. Now this lets me go into my Koko, and yeah, like, I don't need to predict now because I have the spikes up. If he goes Seismic Toad, the Grass Knot will kill him anyway, even through Rindo Berry, I believe. So, we get rid of the Seismic Toad there. He goes into his Magian now, and Koko's looking really good from here, actually, to just be able to win this. So I go into my Ho-Oh here on the Magian to be able to get a big Sacred Fire off here. And it does a lot. The Magiana lives. I don't actually know if that was a roll or not. That might have been a roll. It might not have been. I don't really remember. But either way, I needed damage on the Magiana, and at least I got some damage off on the Magiana and the Burn. Burn doesn't really matter. It was dead to spikes anyway. So now I can go back into my Koko now that it's in range of T-Bolt. And yeah, now that's in range of T-Bolt. Lycanroc's in range of T-Bolt. And then that just leaves the Cofagrigus here. So it's kind of an interesting situation here where my Koko can kind of just win this. However, that Lycanroc could very well have a Cell Rock, and I actually don't have Roost on my Koko, so if he attacks me, then I'm gonna eventually be put in range of the Cell Rock. So I decided to play this. I think this was the best way to play this, so I just go for Calm Mind against the Kofag, as he is just going to go for a Shadow Ball, which is fine. I go for a T-Bolt now to make sure it gets in range of a non-+2 Hawlucha. Basically, the thing I need to do here is just make sure that I can get it in range of Hawlucha without an SD up, so I can fling it to the Cofagrigus, and then the high jump kick will kill the Lycanroc. So that's what I do. He just goes for the Haze. Doesn't matter. I just need it in range, and it is in range now of the Hawlucha, which is fine. So now, instead of just attacking this and killing it, I'm going to Calm Mind again. And the reason for that is, and I'll Calm Mind again, just letting him kill me off here so I can get my Hawlucha in against this. So the reason I did that, you might be wondering, why not just kill it? I'm basically just trying to put the odds more in my favor. So if I just killed the Kofag there with my Tapu Koko, then he brings in his Lycanroc. I'm assuming it has a Cell Rock. I'm not going to base this off of him not having a Cell Rock. So I'm assuming he has a Cell Rock. He would come in with a Lycanroc, kill me with a Cell Rock, and then it would bring my Hawlucha in against the Lycanroc. And my Hawlucha guaranteed lives a Stone Edge from the Lycanroc. However, Stone Edge is a high critical hit move, and then that's giving him a chance to crit me, and if he crits me, he would knock out my Lucha and win. So basically, by doing it this way, and just sacking off my Koko to bring in Lucha, and it lets me get the fling off here against the Cofagrigus, which will make me faster than his Lycanroc, so then I'm not banking off him not getting a crit, and instead I'm just banking off a high jump kick. So I thought that was better, because either way I have to hit a high jump kick against the Lycanroc to win. I can't kill it with anything else. So it's either have the odds be me just having to hit a high jump kick, that's all I have to do, or me having to not get crit and also hit a high jump kick. So this basically just puts the odds more in my favor, which is why I did this. Lets me fling it to the Cofagrigus to knock it out here. And if he does decide to switch into his Lycanroc here, then again I will be faster than it, and then I will be able to knock it out with the high jump kick following. And then he brings the Cofagrigus in, and the spikes are there, and I can just finish it off with an Acro. So it didn't matter if he switched or stayed in here. I go for the fling, knock out the Cofagrigus here, making me faster than his Lycanroc. And now all I have to do is hit a high jump kick, and we hit it. So we do win the finals against Mora there. Like, oh my gosh. Like, when I clicked the high jump kick button, I literally just like ran away from my computer, because knowing my luck I was gonna miss that high jump kick as well but thankfully Horlucha, when it matters, pulls through and hits the high jump kick. So GG to Mora. That was obviously an insane game. I thought it was over as soon as he crit my Primarina, but obviously we were able to turn it around with the Horlucha, get an important Stone Edge miss, and then also Ho-Oh with the Sacred Fire burns to bring it back. I don't know if it necessarily made up for it. I know I needed those things to happen in order for me to have a chance to win, but again, I wouldn't even have been in that position had he not crit me to start with. So yeah, definitely a hacksy game, but we do pull through with the win. Horlucha hitting the high jump kick there at the end, and it was awesome to actually see Fling Horlucha work. I know I didn't like 6-0 sweep him, but like it was cool to see Horlucha just go in at the end and finish the game off. So yeah, that was definitely a hype game. We do win the WSS Ubers off season, which is awesome. This is my second WSS championship, which I'm super happy about. So yeah, I mean, it was definitely an interesting season, a lot shorter, and I think the Ubers made it a lot more interesting. I know I loved using Ho-Oh this season. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, Ho-Oh was great. I might do a recap of the team, not sure. And yeah, that's the other thing I wanted to mention. Like, obviously the thing with Ho-Oh is it's 4 times weak to rocks, but I didn't actually find that to be too much of an issue, because the way I specifically drafted my team was, like, what's my hazard removal? My hazard removal is Defog on Ho-Oh itself, which, you know, that's not really hazard removal. Tapu Koko with Defog, and then what else? Fortress with Rapid Spin, and that's it, I believe. So I didn't really have the best hazard removal, but the way I drafted this team specifically was to pressure my opponents with the hazards and force them to either have to deal with my hazards the entire game, and I had every single hazard you can have. Yeah, I had every single hazard you can have. Or they would have to remove the hazards for me, or just not set up the hazards to begin with. So I feel like that really helped with having Ho-Oh do better this season. Sorry, got interrupted there, but yeah, as I was saying, I feel like that really helped Ho-Oh a lot with me having all the hazards. Like, obviously, I have rocks with Garchomp, Fortress, which has spikes, toxic spikes, rocks, kind of has everything. That's why I really wanted Fortress. And then obviously I picked up Smeargle with webs, even though I didn't bring it to a single game. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. I don't know what the next video is going to be, but I'll see you all next time. Peace.